We check it every morning. We don't want any animal to get stuck in there for more than a day.
Early in the morning, Aaron Sunshine, biological monitor for the Golden Gate National Parks Conservancy, checks a trap that captures threatened red-legged frogs, like this adolescent. They're coming from an upstream breeding site into this portion of the old and narrow Redwood Creek channel that's being drained of its water so that its gravel can soon be excavated to line the new and improved channel, now under construction just a few hundred yards away.
It's nice to actually be able to hold one of these little threatened frogs and take it to a safer place.
About 15 of the juvenile red-legged frogs have been captured so far, a good sign that the breeding program for this severely threatened species is working well. The red-legged frogs are moved carefully, and Chris Friedel, vegetation ecologist for the National Park Service, releases them gingerly back into the nearby breeding pond and away from the restoration construction zone. This pond is now ideal frog habitat, but it's all been created in a place where no wetland existed before. Excavated in 2007, with the planting done by many human hands, including lots of volunteers.
Here we are 3 years later, and it's a functioning frog habitat. It has the California red-legged frogs successfully hatching and growing in it, so it feels really good.
With the success of the red-legged frog breeding pond, there's encouragement that the restoration of Redwood Creek itself will succeed as well. And major progress has been made since our last visit on August 5th. The cattails have been removed, and Hanford ARC's blades are beginning to carve the new creek channel. Up above, Barth Campbell's team has begun the huge transformation of the alluvial fan. The deep gully that we saw on August 5th has been filled and erased from the landscape. But with all this construction activity, visitors are bound to wonder what's happening and have lots of questions and concerns. Fortunately, the Parks Conservancy has explanatory maps and public information coordinators on site to describe exactly what's going on.
Yeah, definitely. I know. Hopefully this will, make the community a little bit happier with less flooding.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, it's a great thing.
I know, definitely. So
Frances Purring is a Parks Conservancy public information coordinator, and June Frost is a local surfer and hiker.
So, and then I saw her and I said, "Excuse me, can you tell me what's happening?" And she explained it all to me. So, I'm not so concerned now. I was a little worried.
So I just love being outdoors with the nature and just talking to the people and getting their feedback. And we definitely want to know what they think and what they want, what would they want us to do, and just things like that.
Meanwhile, the final dewatering of the old Redwood Creek channel continues, and one of the last attempts to get critters out of the creek before gravel excavation begins here is phenomenally successful. Darren Fong from the Park Service and his crew are finding the last pockets of crayfish, prickly sculpin, and salamander larvae, soon off to safer surrounds.
Well, we're going to be putting them in their new homes. Hopefully they'll be happy there. We'll be relocating them upstream of our project site.
As it turns out, a total of 5,410 fish and other aquatic critters ultimately were relocated from Redwood Creek and its associated tributaries in the 2010 restoration effort, including 199 coho salmon and 157 steelhead. To dry this part of the creek, a pump pulls upstream water into a pipe and sends it down and into the existing Redwood Creek channel below the construction zone. When the construction season is over in November 2010, this section of Redwood Creek will have been stabilized again, and water will flow here once more for at least one more year until the new creek channel is ready to be connected. Meanwhile, back at the rough and ready on-site headquarters for the restoration effort, Park Service and Parks Conservancy staff are eating lunch and getting important updates, including this big one from the Conservancy's Sharon Farrell.
We're going to repair the erosion gully, and we're going to install all of these new rolling dips to de-water, basically, if you will, that drainage system.
When we were here on August 5th, a critical decision had to be made quickly to reduce the winter water flow and erosion that had carved this deep gully in the landscape just above the alluvial fan and threatened the entire restoration. The Parks Conservancy and Park Service team and Barth Campbell hiked on the old ridgeline road above the fan and decided they should construct rolling dips in the steep road to slow and diffuse the winter rains which now rushed down it and directly into the Redwood Creek drainage. They also decided to turn the gully into a more natural channel that could further slow and disperse the winter water. Others in the Park Service agreed with the group's conclusions, and work will begin immediately, an unplanned but necessary and swift response to a big set of problems.
That's the part I like about this job. I like the fact that if you can, in a very discrete period of time, identify a problem, a solution, get buy-in, and then move forward on it, that's what makes your job interesting.
Congratulations.
Thanks, Doug.